Hey everyone, Mephisto here. The purpose of this video is try and help beginner players as well as return players have a general idea of how each legendary card currently in the game stand and to better strategize resources to pick, use, and craft cards that could lead to the best outcome with times better to use epic Since Marvel Duel is a complex strategy card game with tons of confusing mechanics such as unities, multiverse variations, lock decks, hero skills combinations, keyword synergies, counter, seasonal enhancement, and with more than a total of 680 cards currently in the game, it is very difficult and time-consuming to include everything and strategies in just one video. So let's begin. Here's a tier list video of consisting only legendary cards in Marvel Duel in Season 36 by itself only. A total of 191 plus 2, which is Infinity Gauntlet and My Super Scheme, cannot be crafted, but it's also include. The reasons will be mentioned later on. It's all judging based on my personal experience as well as my playstyle. Disclaimer, it could be a bit biased, but we'll try my best to be as objective as possible. Based on 3 criteria. The first criteria being flexibility. How flexible it can be used in different deck, build, combo, and situation. Second of all, accessibility. How quickly to gain access, how easy to gain at least a copy of the card from turn 1, and how easy to gain such card by, let's say, craftable or like free from lock decks, or say semi-free from crafting from isotope laboratory. This will all be considered. Last and foremost, power. Base power. Does it include any powerful keyword? How many copies you need to make it work? Let's say for trial and true, you may need a total of 4 copies and use it all in order to get the most of it. This is a tier list from triple S being the best and triple F being the worst. Again, some triple F cards in this tier list could be triple S tier when it's fully built up with its corresponding decks. Let's say lore decks for the hood, here is triple F. However, if it's only considering itself, because the hood by itself without any lore build is a 6 cost 0 power card. That's why it's triple F tier, probably one of the worst legendary cards you can get in the game. Since Marvel Duel is a game based on RNG, some may argue that some card could be triple S tier if successfully played out. But to make a more general, more stable outcome tier list, we are judging the tier of all characters based on the 3 criteria, excluding RNG, which nobody could really master. At least I didn't. If you somehow find a way to do it, please contact me personally. I need help. Like I said previously, it is an heavily RNG based, partly strategized game which you could control, and hopefully with this tier list could help you with. If you get a build or your card pool filled with triple F, if not D tier list, don't be upset or disappointed. It is a tier list again, based on personal experience and playstyle, and even the triple F card could be triple S, if not even godly card, if RNG god is on your side, or you somehow make a new meta. The first one, or the best card currently in the game, is being Thanos, or the Chinese server counterpart, Infinity Gauntlet. We are mainly focusing on Thanos, not the Mad Titan version of it, but the normal version, as our target audience being the global server. Judging from flexibility, it is a very flexible card. It could be used in any situations, especially in a disadvantaged positions, to give you a win. Thanos, with its power card Snap, will wipe out the entire battlefield by 50%, excluding Thanos itself. So, with just himself, plus the maximize 3 copies, which is the maximum amount you can get, excluding other effect like the Mind Zone or Super Skim, that usually you can only get 3 copies of it. Using free Snap in a game with the help of other help, or even without, give you like a major success with just this 2 cards. Will give you a win in a lot of situations. It could be in any deck, and it should be in any deck since it's a neutral card. It won't be affected by the hero you're using, the lock deck you're using. So a very flexible card. Accessibility, it downgrade a little bit because it is 6 costs card, plus it is a little bit pay to win because 2 copies you can literally only get it behind paywall. Power, a 6 cost 30 power plus another power card Snap is really strong, because Snap is a power card that will take effects before assault, before encounter card, before the other character taking action. So it's almost a guaranteed to give you a win in a lot of situations. The current second best card in the game would be the 5 cost Tony Stark. First of all, flexibility wise, it is not as flexible as Thanos. It won't give you like a crushing blow or fatal blow in a disadvantaged situations, and it's unlimited in if you're using Iron Man hero. However, it is a completely free card, as you can craft it completely free to play in the Isotope laboratory. As long as you played it long enough, you can get all 4 copies for free. Plus, it gives you like a huge advantage per round, and you can even reuse it with the help of Night Patrol. But with just himself, 5 cost, and give you 6 gems in return when it is in 2 stars, 12 gems, and 4 star, a total of 24 gems with just 5 cost spent, or a total of 20 cost spent, but you get returned a lot. So with just that being said, the accessibility being high, certainly higher than Thanos, and the power, even though it's not really a powerful card, but like a best support card in the game. It should be ranked in the triple S tier and the second best card currently in the game. While my third pick for the triple S tier card will be Iron Man, the standard version. Flexibility wise, it is also unlimited to Iron Man Hero. Not as flexible as Thanos. Plus, it's a 6 cost card, so similar as Thanos. However, it could only kill an opponent with the lowest power, and its assault, which takes effect after Thanos. Nonetheless, it is still a very decent and strong card, since in a lot of situations, especially in the current meta, where the Calamar and Spider-Woman unity, using Iron Man can immediately snipe the enemy lowest character card, or situations against Doctor Strange, for example, immediately wipe out the other's support character cards. In a lot of cases, could shut down the entire enemy team. By itself, the power wise, it is not as good because 6 cost card with just 8 power. However, the effect is more important here to consider. My final pick for triple S tier will be Surtur from Hela. Again, flexibility wise, it could give you a crushing blow and a huge flex when the enemy health is below 3, 6, or 12, depends on the stars or copies you have in your hand. And it may not immediately take effect and have limited situations where you could use his Marvel skills and instantly win no matter what your enemy is having. However, it's still a very strong card you can store in your hand and use it in the prime time to give a surprise to your opponent. It has also an assault card which takes effect after power card, so the tier is not as high as Thanos, but it's still a very powerful card. The power itself is 40 power, even higher than Thanos. For a 6 cost card, is one of the best card you could get. So even not using his special effect is still a very decent card nonetheless. For the sake of the length of this video, we will now quickly flip through all the other tier lists in a more general way, with S tier being the second best card, which could be used in a lot of situations, sometimes could even give you a win and counter a lot of situations, support card, key card in a lot of decks, but not as significant as those in triple S tier. So for S tier, from left to right, the characters are Loki from Hela, Angela from Thor, Mr. Fantastic from Fantastic Four on neutral deck, Blade from Electric deck, Juggernaut from Magneto, Magneto House of Ambition from Magneto, Ant-Man from neutral deck, Xiao Lao from Doctor Strange, Dr. Voodoo from Doctor Strange, Carnage from Spider-Man, and Cleo from Doctor Strange. From S tier onwards, there will not be a clear ranking within the tier. The position is just like a general concept, displaying all the characters within the tier, unlike triple S tier. All the characters within is decent, strong, and could do and support his team within themselves. Some on the tier list because they are low cost, which is high accessibility. Some will be here because of their power ranking being high, some being their flexibility being high. It is, like I said, difficult to list all of them one by one, and it will be a very long and lengthy video. If any one of you want a detailed versions, I could make one later on. My A tier is basically a support tier list with characters, power card, weapon cards for a comprehensive situations. On its own, could not stand alone as if it is in S tier or triple S tier. Still, they could provide variable experience to support the team. Either counter card, either like Power Stone, it could give you intensive power. It could erase all the cards below the power 5 using a search keyword. Same as the Crimson Gems. It's a perfect counter to a lot of strong free cost character card, early game or late game. Same as for Juggernaut Helmet. It could be effective with using Thanos Snap or against Thanos Snap or against any situations that your characters have a chance of being destroyed or getting stunned. Back to back, even after the nerf, is still a very decent support card to give you more gems, basically. Same as Eric Monk, Spider-Man, Heimdall. This all are guardian cards that protect the team from being attacked. Moving on to B tier, it is a list weaker than A tier could provide support in certain cases. There includes character cards, weapon cards, encounter cards, power card, and some trial and true card. In cases, it could provide a strong support to your team, but on its own, it is certainly not as strong as A tier, S tier, or triple S tier. Therefore say, Captain Marvel Secret Empire, it could certainly provide your entire support team against a high power attack. However, on its own, since it will leave, she will leave the battlefield, and it almost like a single attack with 12 on one copy. So touching on its own is not as strong. Same as all 3 copies of Captain America, standard version, Secret Empire version, or the Sam Wilson version. They are all a very decent and strong key card for Avengers 2, but on its own again, they could not provide anything. But it's still better than some other cards back in the C tier, D tier, or triple F tier. Some could be a very strong card, like the Winter Soldier 6-cost card with 2 actions per round and healing weight. However, since it is a 6-cost card and there is no assault effect, so it is relatively lower in the tier compared to Angela, which is also a 6-cost card and with critical hit as well. Moving on to C tier, it is probably a tier with the most amount of characters we will cover today. It is a tier equivalent to a situational tier, where characters, power card, encounter cards, weapon cards could be useful in some cases. Not key characters, but certainly provide some value, but very limited to a certain build, which makes it not likely to be used, or won't be recommended if you want to build a deck that is stable, give you a higher rate of winning. On itself, it is certainly not as strong as B tier, A tier, S tier, or triple S tier, but much stronger than D tier, which we'll cover later on. D tier is basically the lowest tier today. Triple F tier, yeah, it is there, but it's basically equivalent to trash tier, so just don't use them. And for C tier, it will give you a certain value, but there's a lot of limitations on both the flexibility, accessibility, and the power. D tier. It is a tier that is just an inch away of being completely useless. Don't get me wrong, some of them, like I said before, could be triple S tier to someone. Let's say live model decoy. In cases when you played it and RNG is with you, you could get 4 stars Iron Man full board, which is such a scenery, and flags obviously. However, it is not reliable. It could trick you in getting rid of the key card. And since there's only a total of 4 copies you could put in each deck, it could make you a crushing win into a unfortunate death in a lot of cases. This is why it is in D tier. Someone may put it in triple S tier. Same as Eagle by its own without anyone else. It is just a 4 cost, 1 power card. There are so many other options. 4 cost card that is better than Eagle. You may argue, if Eagle survive, it could slowly build up. But you could get the same effect from Ghost, a 2 cost card, much cheaper, and won't even take counter damage in the first 5 turns for his Forerunner abilities. Same happens to Icarus, a 1 power 30 armor card. By itself, he could never grow up, since there's no reinforcement characters around, and all the other non-stone characters that require non-stone to have the full effect. However, since our tier list only consider the legendary card itself, it's a tricky way. That's why it is now in D tier, even though with all the nerf on non-stone, it is actually not as bad as I would put in D tier. However, there's too many better options, judging just by the card itself. That's why it's D tier. The same happens to trial and true cards, because you need all 4 copies in order to take effect. That's why most of them is D tier. Now, let's move on to the highly anticipated, we all looking forward to the sections, Triple F tier. Triple F tier is basically trash tier, or whatever slur or curse word, the worst thing it can happen. From the leftmost to the rightmost, Jane Foster for Into the Arena, Time Stone, The Hood, Dormammu, and so on. This all the cards with a breakdown on why they are here, and some may be upset because their favorite card is in here. Let me just break down to you. So for Jane Foster, for Dormammu, as well as Sky Kyron, all of them are locked cards that could not be used. on its own, and buying them is just a waste of money. So within these three characters, there's like a little bit of who should be the worst card, basically. Dormammu is certainly the worst, and the second place will be Jane Foster, and then Sky Carrot. Because, for obvious reason, Dormammu 6 cost, Jane Foster 3 cost, Sky Carrot 2 cost. Complete waste. There's no way of you to play these 3 cards on its own. And then the second go with Loki, 4th Asgard, and the Hood, 4th Asgard. These 2 cards are excellent card, in some cases even triple S for the Hood, but like I said, on its own, without lore build, without the 4th Asgard build, they are just 0 power card, which cannot be used at all. Loki, it could still be some sort of chances that his visionary skills activated somehow, but for the Hood, it is a foreigner 6 cost card, and by the time you're able to get it, say you rush your shot level from turn 1 to turn 5, his foreigner skills already deactivated, and by the time you rush all your resources, you spend all your resources to rush his shot 6, and somehow pull him out from the first few reroll, you're already dead. So, triple F tier. Time Stone, I don't feel like we need to cover that. It's triple F tier no matter how you put it. It's nerfed. It was once a godly card, complete broken, infinity health, infinity damage, godly card, but now dismantle it if you could still do it. Into the arena, it was once a godly card as well, but it got nerfed twice, and on its own, you could sort of argue that it could still have some use for refreshing, but getting all 4 copies of it to just have like a minimum effect to get all your cards erased. Only Grandmaster or Gladiator Hawk could survive, but the power it provides to you is also limited. This could be the only card that could have a chance to stay up to D tier, in my opinion. And for the rest card, one for Black Order, one for Deadpool, one for the also nerfed Hydra card, and Wolverine card. They are trash. Mainly because, first of all, Black Order in the meta, there's not a place for them. And Hydra card, the Four Gods one, there's much better options to put in that tool of the space. Baron Zemo, Captain America, Hydra Invasion, Scarlet Witch, Aaron Solar, Deadpool, Secret Empire. There's just no space for him. As for the Deadpool card, 5 cost encounter just to get a slight boost of power of 3 to just 1 card. And you could only buy Deadpool card as well. The amount of limitation make this card one of the worst encounter card in the game. As for the Wolverine card, the Auction Chase, there's like a high risk, low reward card. There's too much RNG involved. There's like, you can get like a limited amount of Avengers. You could get like a card that could avoid damage from both sides. You could get a execution hammer from it, I believe. But again, it is not like assemble. It's assembled to your card pool, and then you have to find it, buy it, and it's very situational. Unlike, say, Space Stone, where you could get the card immediately from the search function, and all the cards, the portal cards, is much more flexible and useful than the Auction Chase card. So here it is, my triple F tier list, the worst cards in Marvel Duel currently of Season 36 by its own. Here is the complete tier list of all legendary cards on itself on Season 36. Hope you enjoyed the video. What do you think about my tier list? If you have any ideas or opinions on what card do you feel should be on the top 3 list or top 10, and which one is the worst card, feel free to leave a comment down below. Hopefully this video you find useful for identifying and better strategize your resources into crafting, use, and pick the legendary card for ladder mode, friend mode, or even just casual mode. Have a better gameplay experience and have fun. I'm Mephisto, and please like, subscribe, and share my video if you could, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.